Welcome to today's training. Today it's the smart teams. How do I even say it? I almost forget. Sometimes I call it smart money team. Sometimes I call it team smart money. But bottom line is, it's our exciting training that we're going to be going through today that I'm really excited about because I think that the information I'm going to share with you will inspire you to really build this business in a big way. And the reason why I came up with these two topics, because after looking at this business now, I've been in here for a few months and starting to see the entire process and the entire system being put together and how it all comes together and making sales now. It's been really encouraging just to watch the entire flow of this business. But most of you guys don't really realize how blessed you are to be in this company. I know I didn't when I first looked at it. I knew it was good, but I didn't realize how good. Let me give you a comparison. About 10 years ago, actually about 14 or 15 years ago now, I was in a real estate investment school, and it was a real estate company that taught real estate investing education. When I joined that business, it cost $20,000 to join. That was the top level. There was multiple levels you can join, but I joined at the top level, $20,000. When you joined that business, you had to give away 4 sales. So you had to give away your first 4 sales to your mentor. Now the commission in that company was 50%. So I would make $10,000 for a sale of $20,000. So it was very lucrative, and I had the fastest growing team in the entire country. I grew a very fast team and made a lot of money. I made, 7 figures of income in a very short period of time because the compensation plan was so lucrative. Now, there was no residual income in it, so you couldn't build any passive income. There was no override real income in it. You just could make the sale and make the override off the one sale. But because of that, I still generated a lot of income, a lot of success from it. Now, why did I tell you that? Because the compensation plan in this company, it's 10 times better. And it's a much easier sale. Imagine having to meet someone at a networking group today, bring them to a meeting, get them to purchase a $20,000 intangible product, something they can't feel or touch. They have to now go get trained for 2 years to possibly learn how to invest in real estate. That's what they were doing. So that's what I was doing. That's what I was selling. And I did really well at it. I created a system. And the only way I was able to grow a team as big as I did, I had hundreds and hundreds of people coming through my office. My team was very, very large, and I had the first office in the company, and it grew exponentially. People around the country would fly to my office just to learn from me. And I thought that business at the time was the best business opportunity for the average person. They didn't have to have any tech knowledge. They just had to learn how to do a few things. So what I did is I created a system in that company. And that system that I created, all a person had to do was generate a lead, convert the lead to a prospect, invite them to the presentation, and book a meeting with me so I could do a follow-up presentation with them. And by doing that, that system was so precise and so crystal clear and easy for the average person. A lot of people made a lot of money. I created a lot of success out of that business for myself. And I popped out a lot of very successful business people that came out of that business. Some I'm still great friends with today. They're multimillionaires right now. So because of that, I said, well, that business was awesome. It was amazing. But now looking at Power and what we have here, we have some simple things. We have a company that is 100 times better than it. And I'll tell you the reason why it's 100 times better. Number one, we have a simple product. It's solar. It's something that the entire world is talking about right now. The president of the United States is talking about it. Everybody's talking about going green. You have advocates about it. You have everyone discussing it. You have the richest people on earth, the Elon Musks of the world and all these people in the industry that you're in, and of course a competitor company, but they're talking about it. When you have somebody talking about something all the time, that's when you know it's a good business. And virtually everyone's talking about this industry. But because of that, we are in the fastest growing company in the world in power. I talked to another owner. I talked to different owners of solar companies in different states and different areas for other reasons. And when I talk to them, it's interesting. They can only sell in their little local area. They can sell in their little close-knit area, and that makes it challenging for them. But now with power, you have the ability to enroll entire solar companies. Did you guys know that? So you weren't at the network, you weren't at the national convention, and if you weren't, you missed that. But not only can we sign up ambassadors, not only can we sign up distributors, we can sign up entire solar companies. So like I got a guy I'm talking to today, and I'll be talking to later on today. He's in Tennessee. He can only sell in Tennessee. So I'm going to be talking to the owner and sharing with him about power and how would you like to expand to 17 other countries, other states. And if he says yes, then I can set him up to become a company here, and we override the entire company. And you can do that anywhere in the country. Do you understand the magnitude of that? Do you understand how big that can be? Do you guys really get the big picture of that? That's humongous. So that would be like in the real estate business I was in. Imagine signing up another college and all the students, you can override on all the students. That's what we have here in this business. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is just to give you a taste of what this business could do. In addition to that, you can grow a team, which we'll talk about a little bit later on in the business, which I would recommend you to start thinking about this business from that perspective. Because power, when you first join, like I did, you have to look at this as a business. And this is where the problem is with a lot of people that join power. A lot of people come in this company thinking they're signing up for a job. This is not a job. This is a business. This is a multi-million-dollar business that you have in your hand. And a lot of people just don't know it. They just don't know it's a multi-million-dollar business. We'll go into that in a little bit and why it is. But you got to really understand, you literally bought $1 million business for $99 and $49 a month. I told you the last business I was in cost me $20,000 to join. I maxed out credit cards. I had to order more credit cards. I got a student loan. I had to sell some stuff on Craigslist just to get the $20,000 to get in. And I still made 7 figures because of it. You got to understand, that's one reason why it's the best company. Here's another big reason why. About our product, I want to tell you about this product. And the reason why I'm telling you this, you guys, I'm trying to help you raise your belief in the company that you're in the business that you're in. When I was in that real estate company, I told you I had a lot of people become very successful because of it. But let me tell you something else. There was a lot of people that spent $20,000 that never even went to the school. They spent $20,000 and for some reason never went to the school one day. They never referred anyone to the business, so they didn't make any money. They never did anything in the business. In other words, they spent $20,000, paid me half of it, and did nothing to make the business work. Just as in this company, people spent $99 or $49 and didn't do anything, didn't go to any trainings, didn't do the business, did nothing, and quit. Same thing, same exact thing. But the difference is they spent $20,000 to do it. They lost money. And there was a lot of people that got in that business that didn't succeed. Here in this business, here's the best part about this, and this is why I'm so committed and I like this business so much. Here's why. If we sell a product to someone, let's say they go solar and they put solar panels at their house, 100% of the people that get our product benefits from the product. 100%, not 99%. That's very rare in most businesses. You know, if you join a network marketing business and they have vitamins, do you know most people that buy the vitamins never use them? They don't even use the vitamins. They don't even take them. You know what I mean? Or you join a business with any other type of product. Most of the time when the person buys the product, a lot of people don't even use the product. But here, 100% of the people that get the product installed and use the product and they benefit. That's huge. So we have a product that virtually everyone can benefit from, everyone's talking about, and it's only going to get worse. So they're going to benefit more as time goes on. In other words, the electricity rates are going to continue to grow and grow and grow. And the people that we've sold the product to are going to benefit more because of the service that we provided. That's very rare to find a company like that at the right time. And that's the key. We're doing it at the right time, which is now. This is the right time to do this business. So that's one of the biggest reasons why this company is the best business opportunity out there. Here's another reason. The business is simple. By the way, the things I'm sharing with you, the reason why I'm sharing with you in a very systematic format is so you can write these things down. And when you're talking to someone, you can regurgitate them. You can say it back to them. You can tell them the reason why it's the best company and why they should look at it when you're trying to recruit someone or bring someone into the business. But the second reason why this business is so great is because it's simple for a new person. Whenever you get into direct sales or network marketing or any type of sales or organization or company or whatever it has to be simple for the new person. That's what it has to be simple for. See, this company has a lot of products. I'm gonna tell you right now, after looking at the system, and I've sold some now and been through the process, there's a lot of panels that you can learn. There's a lot of financing rates you can learn. There's a lot of pieces to the puzzle from it going from a lead until having solar installed in their house. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle. And if you wanted to learn all those pieces, as you would if you were in any other solar company, you'd have to learn a lot more. You'd have to learn the technical things of how to create a proposal. You'd have to understand so much about solar. But in this business, you don't have to do that because they've compartmentalized the entire system. In this business, you have to learn 4 things when you're new. When you go get a job, if you go get a job as a receptionist, you got to know a lot of things to be a receptionist. You got to learn how to use the phone, how to use the computer, how to set up appointments, how to answer the phone, how to learn the script of what to say, all the employees' names. There's so many things you got to learn as a receptionist at a job. If you go to work at McDonald's, you got a bunch of stuff you got to learn. How to make the fries, how to run the register, how to clean the floor, how to clean the bathroom. You got to learn the schedule, how to manage people. There's so many different things you got to learn if you got to work at McDonald's. But in this business, you have 4 things to learn. Number 1, you have to learn how to generate a lead. That's it. If you keep this business simple, you have to learn how to generate a lead. I was talking to the person earlier today, and he was asking me, should I go buy leads? Should I go get some leads and go purchase some? I said, no, just make a list of your top 25 people you know, and then make a list of your top 200 and start there. Because if you do it right, if you do the things I'm going to suggest, which is generate the lead from your own market and then get referrals from them, you'll never, ever, ever have to buy a lead, ever. You generate a lead, and write this down. And I'm saying this simplicity and simple, and you've heard me say it many times, but write it down. You got to know this information. A lead is simply name and contact information. A little bit later, I'm going to go through how you can get some leads and some additional ways, because I have 16 different ways, but I'm going to give you some of the things I do. But you have to generate a lead. That's number 1. Then the second thing you have to get good at is converting the lead into a prospect. A prospect, write this definition of a prospect down, you guys. This is so important. You guys should be able to regurgitate this sentence. A prospect is someone you've spoken to or communicated with that is open to learning more about what you do. Let me say it again. A prospect is someone you've spoken to or communicated with that is open to learning more about what you do. That does not mean they're interested in what you do. That means they're open to learning more. And that's what we do in this business. I don't go out seeing if people are interested in solar. Because if they don't know what solar is, which, after going networking now for a couple of weeks, meeting all these business people and owners and homeowners and stuff, well, you know what I realized? Most people have no idea how solar works. They have no clue. So how could they possibly go from not knowing anything to being interested in solar? They can't. Most people will say they're not interested because they think it costs them a lot of money to go solar. So what you're trying to do is not trying to find out if they're interested in solar. You're trying to find out if they're open to learning more about solar. That little thing makes a big difference, okay? So if you can get that down, that little thing makes a big difference. Because if you can get people to understand and just listen to you, so you can consult them to educate them on the benefits of solar. That's what you're doing. You're more of a consultant. You're showing them the benefits of what solar can do for them. Now they can decide if they're interested or not. That's a big thing that a lot of salespeople do. They try to help and find out if people are interested before they try to find out if they're open. So you want to find out if they're open to learning more about solar. If you do that, you'll get a lot less rejection. I got almost zero rejection. When I went out networking, I booked several appointments. I got several on my calendar. I did several presentations, and almost none of them said no. You know why? Because I didn't ask them if they're interested in solar. I asked them if they're open to learning more. They're all open to learning more. But they don't, I won't know if they're interested until I do the presentation. You get it? That little thing makes a big difference. And you know what? A lot of salespeople, they use the word interested a lot, and it creates their own objection. They manufacture their own objection by the words they use. So you want to get the word interested, write it on your paper, put a big circle around it, and put a big X through it, and never ever say that word interested. Very important. Okay, so you got to learn how to convert those leads into prospects. Inside the Training Academy, I go through how to do that. We use what's called openers and audio business cards. That's inside the Training Academy. You've got to learn that stuff. The third reason why this business is simple. And the third thing you have to do is just get a bill. You get a bill from someone. You ask someone from a bill. You know, we have a gentleman on the line right now, Anthony. He's brand new in the business. Got his first bill in his first day. Why? Because he kept it simple. Got a bill just that quick. You just call someone and say, hey, listen, have you ever considered looking at solar as a way to eliminate your electricity bill? They're going to say yes or no. If they say no, you say, are you open to learning about it? Yes, I am. Well, great. All I need is a copy of your bill. That's it. There's nothing more to the business. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys. There's nothing more to the business. If you can get good at that sentence right there, you can generate a $250,000 a year. Just getting good at that. Asking them if they're open to looking at solar as a way to eliminate their electricity bill. And if they say yes, they're open to learning it, great. I just need to get a bill from you, and so I can show you how it works, show you a solar savings report. The fourth reason why it's simple is that you have to get good at booking a meeting. You book appointments in their calendar. You say, yeah, why don't we just look at your calendar and set up a time where I can show you the solar savings report. Inside the Training Academy, we have a video that's in red. You can look at the little red banner around it, and you can see how to upload a lead and how to pick a mentor. You know, we just had a person just do it today. Anthony just did it. He's brand new, just got involved a couple days ago, just did exactly what I said. And he went out and got it done immediately. We have another gentleman on the team that's doing the same thing out in another city. So you got to understand, if you can get good at this, those four things, that's what makes Power so powerful, because they made it simple for the average person. The average person can do this business. And so that's the reason why it works so well, you guys. That's the reason. You know, if you can get that down, everything else will work for you. Okay, so let's go. It's the best company because it's simple. Here's another reason why it's the best company, why Power is so powerful. Number two is because there's no cost to the company, to the customer. Up front, there's no real cost to the customer. So when you're talking to a customer, You could literally say there's no out-of-pocket cost to you. You can get into a program with solar, and most people have no idea there's no cost. I'm telling you, I've been out networking now, and I'm so grateful I've been out networking because that's what I do best. And once I got out there, I started realizing that none of these people understand solar. They don't know how it works, and they think it's super expensive. So when I say to them, there's no cost to you out of your pocket, they're like, wow, yeah, I'm open to learning. It's so simple. That's what I was thinking. It was going to be difficult. No, that's simple because there's no upfront cost to the customer. So you got to learn to say that to the people. Like I said, the last business I was in cost $20,000 to join. Any other business, you join another direct sales company, it's $300 to join and $20 a month or something. Here, for a customer, they can literally get solar installed in their house, start saving money day one, and it costs them nothing to do it. It increases the value of their house. I told a customer the other day, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I did two things in Florida. Now, Florida's tricky. Everyone else lives somewhere else. But in Florida, where I live, in Jacksonville, it's the most difficult place in the country. And I'm grateful that it's the most difficult. Here's why. The other day, something raised my belief like nothing else. I did two presentations to two people I met in networking groups. Both of them live in Jacksonville. Now, let me tell you about Jacksonville. Jacksonville, in my opinion, is the hardest area in the country because the net metering, they basically steal money from the customers. They give them like a 3-to-1 money back on the net metering, meaning it's costing them a lot more. So the people in Jacksonville have to get backup batteries, not just one backup battery, depending on how much electricity they're using. The other day, we quoted two different customers, 3 backup batteries. Each battery is over $10,000 a piece, $10,000 to $15,000 per battery on top of the solar. So let me show you what happened. We did this presentation. We showed it to them. Now, the presentation normally when any like other homeowners, it's like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, depending on how much solar they're using. I quoted two customers. One of them was $147,000. The second one was $115,000 for their solar package because we had to add batteries and because Jacksonville is a very difficult situation. And guess what? Neither customer balked, and both of them booked a second meeting to meet with me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that this product is that good that even at that higher price, it still made sense for them. That's incredible because now I said I'm focusing on California and other areas. It's nowhere near as difficult because it's all profit for them up front. They can see the savings. Here, these people, they just wanted to get off the grid. They just wanted to have the benefit of it. They wanted the increase in revenue of their property value. They wanted all kinds of different things. It didn't even matter that they weren't saving any money up front. That's how good of a product you guys have. So if you live in a different area, if you're marketing in another area than Jacksonville, Florida, call yourself grateful because I'm in a difficult area. I gotta literally drive 40 miles to go try to network in other areas that are not where I live because I live in the worst area in the country. And I'm grateful that I did it because what it did was it showed me that even in the worst area, people still get solar. That's how good of a product this is. So I wanted to share that with you because I hope that encourages you that where you are right now, where you live, especially, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in California, you guys have an urgency that you can create. I'm doing an entire marketing campaign for Southern California right now, an entire thing. I'm blanketing Southern California homeowners right now. I'm about to go to work because I saw what I did in Jacksonville or what I can do in Jacksonville. Oh, it's on in California. So if you're in Southern California, you guys better really start creating some urgency. Here's why. In California right now, in May, the governor and the state is trying to make it more difficult to sell solar in California. It's called net metering. Remember, I told you we have a net metering problem in Jacksonville, where they're trying to make a similar type thing in California. So between now and May, you have some urgency. You can start contacting those people and say, hey, have you heard about the net metering program that the governor trying to stop people from getting solar? So if you're going to look at solar, you might want to do it now because after that, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to get it. Now, you'll still be able to do it. It's just not going to be as good of a deal. So you can create urgency right now in California. I would strongly recommend you to focus on California right now. because it's one that bills are one of the highest in the country. The energy electric bills are about the highest, and you can create the urgency because it is net metering thing. I've created an entire marketing plan for that right now. So that's one thing you want to look at. And this is why power is so great. Here's another reason why. We have a thing called an ambassador program. Now, there's a lot of solar companies out there that try to offer $1,000 or $500 for a referral, but that's just a referral program. Anybody can offer a referral fee. Ours is an ambassador program, which we have it built into our system, which means you can find anybody or everybody that knows a homeowner and you'll pay them $1,000. Do you know how often you should be talking about that? To everyone. Imagine if you have friends that right now are struggling for money. Do you think those friends know a homeowner? Maybe their parents have a homeowner of a home, or their sisters or brothers or cousins or someone owns a home. You can say to them, listen, I know right now you're struggling financially. What I can do for you is, if you know a person who owns a home, what I can do for you, if you would refer me their name and number, I'll contact them on your behalf and I'll tell them about solar and show them the benefits of it. If they decide to go solar, I'll pay you $1,000. What 3 people come to mind right now that own a home? Write that sentence down. What 3 people come to mind that you know that own a home? Write that sentence down, and you should be saying that sentence over and over and over. Now, who should these people be? Who should ambassadors be? One, they can be anybody that you know is in the real estate, either a real estate investor, an escrow officer, a title, a mortgage company, a real estate agent, a broker, anybody in the real estate space. That's one group of people. 2 would be contractors. Contractors, plumbing contractors, air conditioning contractors. If you see a plumbing truck driving down the street, take a photocopy of the truck. I do that all the time. I got photos in my phone of all these trucks that are driving down the street. Why? Because there's phone numbers right on there. I just call the owner and say, this is what I do. Or I go meet the person. There was an air conditioning guy right outside my house the other day fixing someone's air conditioner across the street. I walked over and said, hey, can I get a business card from you? He said, yeah. I said, what I do is I work with 8 heating and air conditioning companies, and we give $1,000 referral for homeowners because they're in the homes already. He gave me his name and number, and I'm gonna call him. Matter of fact, I got stacks of business cards right here, stacks of cards that I just met in the last few days of contractors and networkers right in my backyard in the worst area. So imagine what you could do in your particular area. So that's another group of people. Here's another group. You know, all those people in your friends and family list that, in your cell phone, all of those people probably know a homeowner if they're not one themselves. If they're not a homeowner and you say to them, listen, who do you know that owns a home? What 3 people do you know that come to mind that own a home? Oh, well, my brother owns a home over here in Temecula. Oh, really? He does? Okay, great. Well, one of the things you can do is if you want to give me your brother's name and number, what I'll do is I'll give him a call on your behalf and let him know that, right now about the net metering program and how he can save money on his electricity bill. And I'll give him a free solar savings report. It's no cost or anything to him. And if he likes it and he decides to go solar, I'll pay you $1,000 for just his name and number. Would you be open to doing that? Yeah, I'm open to doing that. Great. His name is John West. Great. His phone number is blah, 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 blah. And give you the number. You just got a homeowner. It's a referral. How many times a day can you do that? That's why you don't need to go out and buy leads. You don't need to be thinking about anything of the sort. You don't need to be, you don't need to get that creative. It's really simple. That ambassador program is powerful. And you got to make that part of your business plan, part of your system. So this is very, very important. Get that down, get those ambassadors. You should be making everybody you can an ambassador. Because what will happen is some of those ambassadors, what will happen is they'll take the next step. After they refer you a lead or 2 or 3 and get $1,000, $2,000 here or there, you can say, how would you like to make more money than just an ambassador? How would you like to get 50% of the commission? Well, then you can invite them to look at the business as a whole. And some of them may do it, some of them may not. But this is how you build your business. Now you're building a company versus just selling solar. So that's another reason why this company is so powerful. So you want to start making a list of all the people that you can invite as an ambassador. You can do that over and over and over. Here's another big reason why Power is the best company to be in right now. Huge commission percentages, huge. You know, I mean, 70% sounds real. 70% sounds good. But you know, this is when I knew how real it was. When I was making those big offers, when I was making those offers to the clients, we looked down at the commission, because I don't usually look at commission when I'm making sales, but in this business, because you can look at the profit margin. And we looked at the profit margin. We gave them a discounted profit margin, meaning because, you know, it was already $100,000. So we were trying to give them a discounted profit margin so that we can make it make some sense for them. Our discounted profit margin, we were still making $7,500 each, $15,000 of profit. If we hadn't discounted it, it would have been around $14,000 each profit on one sale. You understand? Now, I've made other sales where we only made $3,000 or $4,000 profit, and that's okay. But you got to understand, the reason why is because the company gives us 70% of the profit. That is unheard of. You go to any other business and say, listen, I want to open up a franchise. I want to open up a Taco Bell. Will you guys pay me 70% of the profit? You'll get laughed out of the building. You know, most owners of companies make 5 or 10% of the profit. I have friends that own real estate businesses, that own different types of businesses all over the country. And I have friends that make $500,000 a year. I have people that make $1 million a month. And they don't make 70% profit. And here's the difference with your 70% profit. Matter of fact, one of my friends that owns a real estate business, he does a lot of money. He makes millions of dollars a year. He's partnering with me in solar. You know why? Because he has a real estate business. He generates millions of dollars, but it's low profit margin. He makes a lot of money, but very little profit. And I said, look, we can add power to your business. I'm talking to him tomorrow for the 3rd time, getting it all set up. And we can partner with Power, create a solar entity towards your real estate investment business. I'll do the work to close the customers. You generate the leads, which you already have a podcast. You already have 50 properties of your own. You have customers every single day and a database of all these real estate investors. We're going to show them how it's going to be more profitable. And every one of them that comes solar, you and I are going to split 50-50. But here's the difference with that 50-50 profit split with you. It's 100% profit. Where your real estate business is not 100% profit. Here, when you get the check for $3,000 or $6,000, $10,000, it's all profit. There was no cost. There's no expense. There's no overhead. There's no nothing. It's profit. He was like, I'm in. I got it. Done. When can we meet? I mean, it was easy because he knows he's made $1 million in a month, but it wasn't very little profit. See, it's not how much money you earn, it's how much you keep is what makes the difference. With Power, you get all the profit. Do you understand that? That's huge, you guys. 70%. Plus, if you build a team, you get 20% override on your first level. So when you bring a team of people in, 5, 10, 50, 20 people, whatever business they do, you make 20% of that too. And then 10%, 15%, then 10%, and then 5%, 5%, 5%. I'll explain that a little bit later, but you do. The compensation on the team building is huge. You can make a phenomenal profit in the business. That's the reason why Power is so amazing. The last part, of course, I want to talk about, you build a team. And I would strongly recommend starting to build a team, even if you're not profitable yet, even if you haven't started making sales yet. That's okay, because you know what? You can bring someone in that can make a sale in a day. Even if you haven't made a sale, you can still get people to make a sale. And once you start making sales, you can override that, because you got to make one sale every 6 months to override your team. One sale every 6 months. That's not a lot of qualification to stay active. Very important. So like I said, you guys have a multi-million-dollar business in your hands. I hope you see it. I hope you see it. Most people that join this program don't see it. I brought a lot of people into the company when I first started, but they didn't see it. They didn't see how big of an opportunity this was. But I hope you do. I'll tell you about opportunities. See, if you're in an opportunity and you miss it, it can cost you dearly for life. Let me explain what I mean. I have personal experience on that. When I was in that real estate company in 2009, a friend of mine came to me named Tony. He said, Stephen, I want to join your real estate business. He spent $20,000 joining with me. He goes, but I also want to talk to you about this thing called Bitcoin. I was like, Bitcoin, what's that? He goes, it's a digital currency that's coming out. I think we should look at it. There's a thing called blockchain coming out, and it's amazing. And I was like, Bitcoin, what the heck is Bitcoin? He said, well, it's this digital currency, and it's going to be the wave of the future. And I was like, well, bro, I'm really focused on real estate right now. I'm not really focused on, any digital currency. I don't even know what that is. He goes, but you should really consider looking at it. I wasn't open to look at it. So he decided to join Bitcoin in 2009. Now, that was the year it started. I said, well, how much is this Bitcoin stuff? He said, you can buy it at 9 cents a coin. I said, 9 cents a coin? I don't even know what coin is. What the heck does that mean? So I said, no, thank you. Now, you got to remember, I was making $1 million a year at that time. I was making a lot of money, seven figures, making some huge coin. So I could have easily put $100,000 in, $50,000 in with no problem, and bought Bitcoin at 9 cents a coin. You want me to tell you the math? Let's just use the numbers today. Let's say Bitcoin's at $40,000 today. So you got, let's say I would have bought $50,000 worth of Bitcoin divided by 0.09 cents. That would have given me 500. There's so many fives, I can't even read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fives times $40,000 a coin now equals, it's so many twos, it's off the chart. It would have been like $22 billion or more I would have been worth. Because I had an opportunity in my hand, but I didn't see the opportunity. Now, of course, this company's not going to make that kind of money for you. But that's what I could have done in Bitcoin. I was in the right place at the right time with the resource to do it. But you know what? I didn't have the vision to see where Bitcoin was going. Didn't have the vision. And I missed. But I'm grateful that I did, because God had a different plan for me. But I can tell you right now, you guys are in the right place at the right time, in the right company, with the right product, with the right compensation plan. The question is, are you the right person? Can you see it? Do you have the vision to see what this business can do for you guys? I hope you do, because this business is, like I said, the best business opportunity for any individual to get into right now at this time. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to transition a little bit into, what it takes to make it. What it's going to take for you to become successful in this business. Let's go through some things. I want you to write this down. Number one, the first thing that you're going to have to do if you want to be successful in this business, you're going to have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. When I looked at this now and I joined the business, I now had to make a decision. Am I really going to do power, or am I just going to put my toe in and try it out and see what's going to happen? No, I made a decision. I'm going to make a decision. I'm all in. I left another job. I left another company I was working with, selling, energy efficiency. It was tough, because I run an online ministry. I was making decent income, but I sacrificed that income. I said, I'm going to sacrifice to do this business. By that sacrifice, it was financially made it tough when I first started. I said, but I'm going to push all my chips in, just like I did 15 years ago in that real estate company. I pushed all my chips in and said, I'm all in. So I did the exact same thing. I said, JC, I'm in this business. I'm going to treat it like a business, but I'm going to work it like a job. And I said, I'm in. He said, okay, no problem. So let's do it. So I jumped in. And he said, what should I do first? He said, start sponsoring and building a team. So I did. I started sponsoring and building a team and building a team and building a team. Come to find out, I won a contest that first month and put a decent amount of money in my pocket so I could win that contest. And so once I won that contest, I started seeing, wait a minute, they paid this much for a contest for it. And I was thinking, okay, but you gotta remember, my belief was there, but it wasn't like it is today. So as I started looking at the company, I started doing the activity and started seeing the system and how simple it was. I created a training program and my belief went up. I started seeing other people succeed and my belief went up. I started getting some prospects and getting some bills myself, seeing the system work, and my belief went up. So then I said, okay, you know what? I was all in, but now I'm all the way in. Now power's in me. So what I'm doing now is I've actually committed to this business. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use my strengths. So write this down. I said, I'm going to use my strengths and I'm going to master my strengths and I'm going to get very good at those things. And I'm going to make that my business because there's a lot of things you can do in power, but I had to make a decision to use my strengths and focus on those. So I had to ask myself, what are my strengths? And I'll talk about that in a minute, what those strengths are specifically in a second. But that's the first thing is I had to make a decision to be successful. And that's what you need to do right now. You need to decide, I'm going to build this business. I don't care how long it takes. If it takes me a month, it takes me a week, if it takes me 6 months, it doesn't matter because it's a business. If you open up a Subway sandwich and let's say your first day you spend $200,000 to get your Subway sandwich, when do you think you're going to start making some money? When do you think you're going to start making profit? Immediately? No, because you got to open up the office. You got to build it out. You got to hire the employees. You got to run the advertising. You got to find the location. You got to get your employees. You got to get everything set up first. And then you got to start selling Subway sandwiches. And you know what? The average Subway sandwich shop owner makes $10 an hour for the first 2 years profit. And then after that, once he opens up a second or third or fourth location, then they start making profit. You in this business, if you get a bill today, you invite that person to look and see if the program, and you book a meeting with a mentor, you could literally be in profit in a week or two. You don't have to wait a year or two. That's how good this business is. So you have to make a decision right now. That's it. I'm building this business. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to put my blinders on. I'm not going to be looking back. I'm going to learn what it takes. I'm going to learn how to generate a lead, convert the lead to a prospect, how to invite and get a bill, how to invite them to book a meeting with a mentor. That's all it takes. If you get that down, everything else you'll learn. The rest of it's a PowerPoint. It's a PowerPoint presentation to show people how solar works. It's very simple. I'll send you the PowerPoint. When you need it, I'll send it to you. Right now, I don't want you to focus on that. Right now, I want you to focus on those 4 simple things. So that's the first thing you got to do is you got to make a decision that you're going to build the business. You're not going to try to build the business. You're not going to see if it works. Because I can tell you right now, if you want to check it out to see if it works, I can guarantee you might as well quit now because it ain't going to work. It's a business. You got to commit. The second thing you got to do is commit. So the first thing you got to make a decision. The second thing is you got to make a commitment. See, if it is to be, it's up to me. That was the mindset I had. But you know, if it is to be, it's up to you. You can't rely on me. You can't rely on the mentors. You can't rely on your upline. You can't rely on a sponsor. You can't rely on the training. You know what you got to do is you got to say, this is my business. I'm going to build this business no matter what. JC is an awesome mentor. He's an awesome leader. He's an awesome trainer. But you know what? I'm not putting my livelihood in his hands. If I'm going to build this business, whether if JC builds the business, if he helps me, if he's there for me, it doesn't matter. I'm building the business no matter what. You see, so I took that mindset and I took the responsibility of blaming everyone else for my success. And I said, no, if I'm going to succeed, it's going to be because of me. If I'm not going to succeed, it's going to be because of me. I'm going to take that kind of responsibility. And because I'm doing that, that's why I'm setting up systems. I'm up till 3, 4 in the morning sometimes, you know, talking on, you know, setting up my CRM, setting up marketing stuff, setting up my website so that in the morning I can get up and do a training like this and prospect and start doing what I need to do to build the business. See, I'm treating it like a business. I'm not treating it like a hobby. It's very important. So you will need to make a commitment. So here's some of the things you need to make a commitment to. Number 1, you need to make a commitment to training. See, in this solar company, we have training twice a week. In most solar companies, you have almost no training, very little. We have training at least 2 to 3 times a week. Right now, our training today is on Tuesday. It'll go back to Monday next week, or I think in 2 weeks, it'll go back to Monday. But right now it's on Tuesday. but then JC has a training on Monday. You need to put that in your calendar. Tomorrow, no, actually today at 1 o'clock, there's a training with JB. You should be on that training. You should be on that training so you can learn some of the techniques that they teach, because we go into different things. One, we go into about the product. We teach you about how, you know, the panels work, challenges in the industry. You hear good news, you hear about content. There's a lot of things, but you need to spend the time training. People think, oh, training is a waste of time. No, if there's two things you got to learn. You got to train your mindset and you got to train your skill set. So training is not a waste of time. You have to get trained. If you wanted to do anything, if you wanted to work at McDonald's, you have to go get trained, right? So in the same thing here, training is through the videos and the seminars that we have by the experts in their particular field, and they're going to teach you how to build the business. So right after this, we have a power hour training that I'd recommend you to be on. You should have the link. If you don't, go to the Training Academy, look under calendar, and it's right in there. So you got to commit to training. Another thing you got to commit to is attending the opportunity presentations. Now on Monday nights at 8 p.m., we have an opportunity presentation. This is designed so you can bring guests and you can show the business opportunity. Plus, on the Power Calendar, we actually have a circuit going. People are going around the country doing presentations in different cities. You should find out what cities they are, find out who you know in those areas, and invite them to go to that presentation. Because you can grow your team across the country, and so you can build that business no matter where you are. Okay, so that's another thing you want to commit to. The next thing you want to commit to is you got to commit to lead generation. Now, like I said, I use my strengths. My strengths is networking. So I'm going to show you right here. These are my cards. These are all the prospects I got. I booked appointments in my calendar. These are all the business cards. So this is a stack right here. There's 1 stack, 2 stacks, 3 stack, 4 stack, 5 stack. This is from 1 week of networking. 1 week of going to a networking event, meeting people that are open to learning about solar, or they're going to be ambassadors. The reason why some of them have rubber bands because I upload them into my CRM. If you ever want to learn about a CRM, I found one of the best ones. It's really simple and easy to use. Let me know and I'll hook you up with them. But the reason why I put them in my CRM, because I'm setting up an email marketing campaign. I can track who I'm talking to. I can have my notes in there, everything in one system, because I'm running a business. So I have those there. So that's my skill set. So one of my skill sets is networking. So I developed that. So you got to learn how to generate those leads. You got to learn that. My skill is networking, but you got to decide what your skill is. I would recommend networking. If you don't know how to network, I'll be doing a networking training specifically on networking. But really what it is you're using your opener, your audio business card, and your inviting script. It's the same thing I've been teaching you in the Training Academy already. You use the openers, you use the audio business card, and you invite people to a meeting. There's no difference. It's just you're building some rapport with them while you're there at the networking group. That's really what I do. I go to the networking group, I build rapport with the people that are there, and then I use my openers, audio business card, inviting script. When they ask me what I do is I work with homeowners and I educate them on the benefits of going solar so they can save money and possibly reduce their electricity bill. And they're like, wow, how does that work? And then I go through my presentation with them. So that's what you want to do. You want to commit to that. Here's another thing you want to commit to. You want to commit to phone calls, because that's another thing that I do is I make phone calls to these people. So today, the rest of this week, I'm not going networking. Actually, I think I have one. I have one tomorrow, and I have one on, I think, Wednesday evening. I'm going networking in the evening, but I'm trying to do my best during the day to not go any more networking groups, just because I'll get too many leads. So this week, I'm making phone calls to them. I'm calling my prospects. I'm calling my leads. I'm calling the people on my top 200 list because I want to get those 10 bills a week. I said I wanted to get 2 a day. I started to get 2 or 3 a week. And now I'm focused on 10 a week because I want to start getting the momentum. Okay. So I'm going to be making phone calls today. That's what I'm going to be doing. Picking up the phone, smiling, and dialing, inviting people to either get a strategy session or a solar savings report, or invite them to be an ambassador, or invite them to the business opportunity, one of the 3. So you want to make a commitment. and be consistent to that. The last thing is my strength is email marketing. So I'm creating a whole email marketing campaign. I got a list of emails of homeowners in certain areas, and I'm going to be emailing them. But I'm creating a whole funnel. I'm creating a whole system. And just so you know, that's not a beginning technique. That's an advanced technique. We also do door hangers. I have these door hangers that I bought, and inside the academy, I have a whole thing for door hangers. If you want to learn how to do that, that will be door knocking or door hanging. If you want to get those, you can. But that's just another technique I'm doing. But those are the ways I'm using my strengths. Now, there's a lot of people that are good on social media. That's not my strength, so I'm not doing that. There's a lot of people that are good on, of other things that they're good at. I'm using my strengths. So you need to really think through, what are my strengths that I could commit to? You need 1 or 2 or 3 lead generation processes. 1 or 2 or 3 lead generation processes. Mine is networking, making phone calls, and the email marketing. Okay, that's what I'm going to use. You got to decide what you're going to use. Don't just do what I do. Do what you do. What is your best? Are you good with, going to public events? Are you good at setting up a booth at a home show? If that's what you're good at and you like doing those trade shows and stuff like that, look online for trade shows, go set up a booth somewhere and then do a trade show. But you got to commit to lead generation, because the lead generation is the lifeblood of your butter. If you're out of leads, you're out of business. So you got to get the leads, convert the lead to a prospect, get the bill, and book the appointment. So you want to commit to that. Then the last thing I want to touch on this, when it comes to what it takes to make it, guys, is the mindset. You got to have the mindset of a farmer. Let's say you were a farmer and you had a farm and you were going to grow strawberries. Let's say that's your goal. You're going to grow strawberries and you have this big old plot of land and you want to have strawberries growing, right? You want to have strawberries growing everywhere in the land. What would you have to do? The first thing you'd have to do is, one, you'd have to get the seeds. After you get the seeds, you got to go and get the tools and the utensils to make sure that the land is, cut right, and maybe a tractor or whatever it's going to take. You're going to need to be able to plant the seeds. You have to start planting seeds. You're going to have to start watering and fertilizing the ground. You're going to have to till the ground, turn it over, and make sure that it's nice and soft and moist so that the strawberries can grow properly, right? But then you got to go out and start planting those strawberries. You got to go tossing the seeds, putting them out there. And the one thing about strawberries, if you want to get a whole bushel of strawberries, you got to throw out thousands upon thousands of seeds. But very few seeds actually turn into strawberries. Most of them die. Some of them get eaten by bugs. Some of them were dead already. Some of them were not good, right? They're not good fertile strawberry seeds. But some of those seeds turn actually into strawberries and they grow. And when the ones that grow, then what you have to do is you got to go down and pick the strawberries. And what do? You got to go to the land and you got to look down. You got to go pick the strawberries and you got to look at them, because some of the strawberries are good. Some of the strawberries are bad. Some of the strawberries get eaten by worms and bugs and they're not good at all. You got to throw them away. So as you're picking through those strawberries, you're picking the winners and you're throwing away the losers. You're picking the winners, you're throwing away the bad ones. You're picking the good ones, throwing away the bad ones. But remember, all along, you had to plant a lot of strawberries seeds to get some strawberries to grow. But here's the thing about the strawberry seeds, and the funny part about it is this. Strawberries grow at different speeds. So, strawberries grow at different speeds than things like corn. Let's say if you wanted to grow corn, let's say you had a different field next to it and you're going to grow corn. You got to do the same process. You got to plant the corn, you got to water the corn, you got to fertilize the ground, you got to do all the same thing that you do have to do for the strawberries. But the strawberries grow at the speed strawberries grow. Corn grows at the speed corn grows. And they grow at different speeds. So the thing about that is this. When you're going to pick strawberries, you got to have the mindset of how long does it take for strawberries to grow? If it takes 3 months, then you got to water, fertilize, and till the ground, and then go pick the strawberries when the picking is right for the strawberries. But at the same time, you got to still plant and water the seeds and fertilize the corn And then when the corn is time to grow, which is at a different speed than the strawberries, then you go pick the corn. You see, because if you want corn and you want strawberries, both of them, you got to water, fertilize, till the ground, and go pick. You understand? But here's the funny thing about it. When you're planting the strawberries, when you're planting the corn, you're eating franks and beans. You're not eating corn and you're not eating strawberries. You know what you're doing? You're on a budget because you're watering and fertilizing. See, there's a time to water and fertilize, and there's a time to reap the harvest. Right now, I'm in planting, watering, and fertilizing mode because I understand this. And guess what? We're not thriving financially right this minute. Why? Because I gave up my income to do this business. I gave up a big portion of my income with what I was doing to do this business. And you know what? Here's a sentence I learned years ago. Write this down. Sometimes you have to give up what you got to get what you want. Sometimes you got to give up what you got to get what you want. And so I did. I had to give up my time. I had to give up some time. I had to give up some sleep. I had to give up some gym working out time. I had to give up my job, my income to focus on this, to start planting, water, and fertilizing, because guess what's starting to happen now? I'm now starting to reap the harvest. I'm starting to reap the harvest now because I've planted watering. And guess what? This week, I'm planting and watering and fertilizing. Next week, I'll start reaping the harvest. The following week, I'll reap a harvest. The next month, I'll reap a harvest. And then it's just going to start to grow. And the next thing you know what I'm doing all day? Eating corn and picking strawberries. And then every once in a while, I just have to plant because it's already been planted. The fields are already fertile. I just got to add a little bit more water, add a little bit more dirt, add a few more seeds, and then the next year I get more harvest. That's how it works, you guys. That's what the business you're in. And you got to have that mindset, because if you have that mindset, you understand that you got to plant, water, and fertilize it before you get the harvest. Then you'll stay in the business. But you got to make a decision to build this business. You got to stay committed to the business. And you got to work the business like a job. You got to work this business like a job, stay focused, stay committed, and believe in what you do. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you are absolutely in the best business opportunity there is out there for the average person. There's nothing like it. So I'm committed to you guys. I'm excited. And I hope this training was really helpful for you guys. I want to open it up real quick to get some feedback from some of you of some things that you may want to share about what you just learned today. Let's go ahead and unmute you.